Now, we all know it's a good idea to lessen our carbon footprints. So on this episode, UTR went to Consumers E and got a Chevy BOLT. Shocking? Well, I should hope so. It's an electric vehicle.
That's right, we've only got one planet, so we're going to be responsible and have a ton of fun all at the same time. Because in an EV, it's hard not to be. We're also going to meet some extraordinary people doing incredible things to help move our great state forward. So fasten your seatbelt and get ready to breathe easy, because this here is UTR's first ever electric adventure. Woohoo! But before we bolt out of here, so to speak, let's get a few inspiring words from Jeff Myram at Consumers Energy about this timely traveling technology.
Jeff, I got to say thank you so much for hooking us up with this sweet EV, because I've never, and I apologize, I've never driven an electronic vehicle before, and I've always wondered what the experience is like. So what can I expect?
You can expect it's going to be fantastic. Most people are surprised. This is, you look at a Chevy Bolt and you're like, okay, maybe this is a little small, but I'm 6'5", and frankly, when you take out the engine and the transmission, I fit in it perfect.
Wait, so you have to take out the engine and the transmission to fit in it?
I'll show you how to do that in a moment.
Okay.
It's really easy, a simple pull lever. But, but yes, the acceleration is also impressive. So probably shouldn't admit this on camera, but one of the first times I drove it, I actually burned a little rubber, because I went around a corner and I was not expecting the torque from this smaller vehicle.
Call the authority.
Exactly, watch out. So the power tends to surprise people, the inside space tends to surprise people, and then as you get going down the highway, the quiet. So you're like, you know what, I really hear the road. I can, and if you're out like in a park or something, it's so quiet. You can hear the birds, you can put your windows down, it's really pretty nice.
Well, how is Consumers Energy part of this, of moving this whole technology forward?
Yeah, great question. So we know that electric vehicle drivers are really concerned about the cost of fueling or charging with an electric vehicle. And so how we help is we help in a couple ways. One, we have time of use rates, because when this thing is charging is when you're sleeping. So perfect. Second thing we can do is we can do a rebate on what's called a level 2 charger in your garage. So it's very much like what you have here in the background, but this one is waterproof. This one's built for the outdoors. There's some simpler versions that can connect to the Wi-Fi in your house that are a bit cheaper than this. And we have a $500 rebate to help you with that cost.
Awesome. Well, if you've seen our show before, you know that we name everything on our show, and we name it Steve. So, right guys, if we name something, it's going to be Steve. So this is now Steve the EV. It's going to be going with us, and I think it's time for, well, first for you to do the walk around, and then Steve and I, we got to hit the road.
Sounds great. This is going to be a great Steve EV experience.
Well, with all that being said, now it was time for some EV tech talk with Jeff on how to charge my new ride and how all the dashboard electronic innards work. No problem. And after a quick test drive around the neighborhood, I was amped up and ready to enjoy the experience. To be honest, the learning curve on this car is 3, 2, 1, got it. It's just like driving a car. So with my hands firmly on Steve the EV's wheel, I hit the gas. I hit the volts in my Bolt and made a beeline for our first electric adventure. And speaking of first, our first 2 stops were in Kalamazoo.